Good morning, Campbellsville. Let's stand and worship this morning. I was buried beneath my shame. Who could carry that kind of weight? Well, it was my truth
walks with me and tells me that I am his own. And the joy we share, what else compares, like nothing I've ever known. He walks with me, he talks with me, and tells me I am his own. And the joy we share, what else compares, it's like nothing I've ever known. I can't believe it. Oh, 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 I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. And I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything. Oh, I have found a friend in Jesus. He is everything to me. And I have found a friend in Jesus. Yes, he is my everything.
Lord, thank you for today. Thank you that we get to come together in chapel and just worship your name. I pray for Charity and the rest of the panel that's going to come up here. I pray for International Week as we all get to just celebrate the different countries and we just get to celebrate together as a community in Christ. In these things I pray. Amen.
We're excited to have this wonderful panel with us today and excited to invite Charity Powell to come up. She is working with first-generation students, and this is an awesome opportunity to hear more about this. So, Charity, thank you for what you do. Blessings.
While we do a little set change of sorts, I'll introduce myself, and then as these chairs come up here, if my friends would come up and not leave me all alone, that'd be great. My name's Charity Powell. I am the director for First Generation Scholars and Belonging here on campus. I've worked here for almost 9 years now. CU alum twice, so I kind of like it here. So my story is absolutely a first-gen story. It's I came here having no idea what I was getting myself into. So what I'd like to do, I know you guys literally just sat down, but I want everybody to stand up, and I'm going to ask you some questions, and as I say, you can sit down, okay? So please stand up. We love a little stretch and getting ready. So first question, if both of your parents have graduated with a 4-year college degree, I would like for you to sit down. Both parents graduated with a 4-year degree. Okay, so if one of your parents graduated with a 4-year college degree, please sit down. So I need you all to look around. All of you that are standing are first-generation college students. Congratulations, you win. So this would be true, though. Like, look around again. Everybody in the room, look around. About half of the people in this room, maybe even more than half, are first-generation students, okay? You guys can be seated. Yay, first gen. Whoop, whoop. So last week we celebrated first-generation college student week here. We had some cool videos that played on our Instagram and got shared a few times. That was really great. If you didn't get to see those, they're obviously still up. You can go look at them. But what we wanted to do today is take a chance to get to know some of our first-gen faculty, staff, and students here on campus so that you would be able to have a face that goes with this idea of what first-gen is. So I've got a few questions prepared, but what I would really love is to not get to my questions because you guys ask some questions that you have specifically, okay? So let's flip to the next slide here. Did you know first-gen college students make up about 40% of the freshman class here? Again, you guys kind of showed that, right? Not all of you may be freshmen, but here at CU, we are comprised of almost half first-gen students. The other statistic that I'm going to throw at you today that's kind of what we would like to change is that nationally, only about 24% of the people that come to a university as first-gen students actually complete a degree within 6 years. That's a pretty low number. So what we want to do here is to be a place where a lot more than that graduate, where first-gen students are showing out and we're celebrating as you guys walk across the stage. So, I'm going to give these awesome people an opportunity to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, what you do, and what degree you have or are seeking. Okay?
I guess I'll go ahead and start. I am Dariante Bell. I graduated here from Campbellsville University last year, and I currently work over in enrollment and student success and retention, and I'm from Anniston, Alabama.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Carter. I serve as the Associate Vice President for Community and Student Success. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. My bachelor's is in Human Development and Counseling. My master's is in Human Services and Counseling, and my doctorate is in Educational Leadership and Policy Studies from Eastern Kentucky University.
My name's Lauren Willis. I currently serve as the Chair of Human Performance. I'm from Columbia, Kentucky, so not very far away. I did a bachelor's degree here at Campbellsville in Health and Physical Education, and then I did 2 master's degrees here in Theology and Sport Management, and then I did my PhD at the University of Kentucky in Educational Sciences.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Blade. I am a senior here at Campbellsville. I am currently pursuing a double major in chemistry and biology. I'm from Harrodsburg, Kentucky, if anyone knows where that's at. Small town in Mercer. I plan to attend pharmacy school at UK. I've got my interview next month, and I'm excited.
My name is Kelsey Overall. I'm from Tennessee. I'm also a senior here, and I'm seeking a double major in Christian missions and Spanish. And I'm just hoping to work with kids who come from hard places. So.
Okay, so does anybody have a question yet? If you're still thinking, I can wait a minute. But does anybody have something that you would like to ask these people that you've already heard? I want to know more about that. Okay, so panel, what inspired you or who inspired you to go to college?
What inspired me to go to college was because no one in my family had yet went to college, and back home they make college seem like you're doing rocket science, so I wanted to go against the odds, so to speak.
I think I told this story last year, but I think that the relationship I built with my biology teacher in high school, he really pushed me. He showed me a lot of things in biology, got me really interested in how things work in the body, different sort of like metabolism cycles and all that sort of thing. And I think developing that relationship with him and him pushing me towards being someone I would be proud of myself looking after graduating. And I think relationships like that with professors is really important. That's what pushed me to be here today.
I didn't really have anyone that inspired me to go to college. My route was a little different. I went to college originally from high school because that's what people do, but I wasn't prepared. As a first-generation college student, I didn't know what to ask or where to go, how to be successful, so I dropped out. I joined the Army, but even in the Army, you have to have an education to get promoted, so I think I inspired myself because I wanted to make more money.
Jamie is feeling very unused right now. He really wants to run around the room answering questions. Hey, Jamie. We have friends that have questions. I also just kind of interrupted him, and it may have been a little bit on purpose.
1 second. We're working on it. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Hello. Check 1 2.
No.
It's not working yet. It's fixing to work. Yell really loud. Yeah, really loud. There we go. Oh, wait.
What challenges did you face as a first-generation college student, and how did you overcome them?
Pretty sure that was on my list. Way to know
that's-
what's good.
That's a good question. And I'll say, like, I played sports and worked really hard, did AP and dual credit in high school, so I really thought I was prepared. But one of the challenges that I wasn't really prepared for is the amount of time that sports took, which I'm sure a lot of you all can relate to. And my family didn't really know because they were just like, well, I had a job right out of school, so there was an expectation on me to have a job. So I actually worked in admissions, and I was a college student, and then I played on the golf team. And it was just a lot. And I think the biggest challenge is that nobody really understood at home the pressure and the time and just how much stress it was to have all of that, you know. And I didn't really have, my family was pretty poor, so I had to work if I wanted to have any kind of money for gas or food or anything like that. So I just felt like there was a lot of pressure. But how did I overcome that? I think that being on a sport team for me was huge because you kind of have a built-in family right off the bat. I had a really good relationship with my advisor. I had clear communication. I got really connected in admissions, which was actually my first job after school. I worked after I graduated in admissions, and I just think that I found people on campus, and to be honest, I didn't have to look that hard. There's a lot of people here that cared, and I just had support where I wasn't even looking for it, so.
Yeah, my story's kind of similar where my family really didn't know how to support me either. And so for me, I changed my major like 5 times in my first 2 semesters, and I did not know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to be at college. And so at home, they had no idea how to help me in that, and so I was just kind of struggling of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, but also why is nothing working? And so I think one of the things that helped me get through that was just growing in my relationship with the Lord for the most part, and Him just kind of guiding me to where He has me now, really. But with that came everything else, like support here. I started working in the communications office as a work study and then switched over to admissions my second semester. So I have a similar story of I found family there. But yeah, just getting connected and the things that you love to do. Don't be scared to just go and get connected because that's where you're going to find your support, especially if you don't have it back at home.
Yay, Jamie.
So I myself am a first-gen sophomore, so I kind of already know the answer to this question, and my story can prove it. But I feel like it's important for people, especially those who are not first-gen, to know the answer to this question. Why do you believe it is so important for people to know, like, stories of first-gen students going to college and graduating? Like, what exactly is, like, the significance of that of those types of stories, and how do you think that'll help, like, other people, first-gen or not?
I think that's a good question because it can change the trajectory of your life and of your future family as well as your current family. So Lauren will probably share that once she went to school, someone else in her family decided to go to school. For me, being the first one to graduate from college, I was then able to help my children finish college and have a better earning, to have a sustainable lifestyle. So I think it's important that we share these stories because if there's anybody in the room that's like me who decided to drop out and quit, you can hear how it's necessary to have an education if you want to have a better quality of life. It is hard. If college was easy, everybody would go. So even when it gets hard, I would say don't quit. Get the resources, build the community, find out how much easier it is to stay on course right now than to do it like I did as a non-traditional student. Once you have kids and a family, it gets really hard. So before life gets in front of you, and gets in the way, I would say having these stories helps you to understand the significance of completing.
And I would say too, not just for first generation students, but there's probably not a single person in here that hasn't been frustrated at one point or another since you've been in school, right? Maybe even tempted to quit, especially leading into finals week. You're like, this is stupid. Why do I even need to do this? So I think it's important to kind of flood people's, like, Charity dropped all those videos last week because social media is what everybody does now, right? So I think it's important to flood news feeds and social media reels, all kinds of different stuff with just positive stories, because everybody needs encouragement regardless of where you are in life. And Dr. Carter mentioned my relationship with my mom. She always encouraged me, but she was the type of person that would be like, I wish I could do that. I would never be able to do that, right? And so after I finished my I did a bachelor's and 2 masters, and then when I enrolled in the University of Kentucky for my PhD, my mom's like, I think I want to do that. And she went to school. She did social work here online. And I mean, it was really hard for her. She was non-traditional. She was, 50 at the time when she went back. And, having to learn to do that online is its own challenge. And I think it changed her. She's 6 years away from retirement, working in a state job, but she's going to switch because of her education and have probably a $10,000 to $12,000 pay raise. It's going to change her life because she went back to school to do education and finish it, and I think that it's important for people to hear that.
So I'm a future educator, and I wanted to ask what advice you would give to me and other future educators about how to encourage our students to become first or even second gen college students.
I don't want to hog the mic. Let me verify, because she said she didn't hear the question. You want to know, as a future educator, how do you inspire your students to go to school, right?
I think it's important that you self-disclose, share your experience, and help students to connect to resources and build community. I think community is really important to help with retention. So be a good listener, know what the resources are, how you can help that person, educate yourself. Like us up here, I know us 3, y'all are still learning. But even once you complete that degree, never stop learning. So professional development is important, staying on top of best practices and current trends. Just be that encourager, and find out how you can even serve as a mentor. Mentorship is also important to completion.
And I train teachers, and so I appreciate your question. I think it's so important even now at the college level. I'm really intentional with advising, because for me, my advisor made a huge difference in my life. And I think as a teacher, you have the ability to mentor students in a way that's so significant. So I think just constantly reminding them that they're capable, that affirmation of encouragement in their life. And then, he shared that his biology teacher inspired him to go to school. So, don't underestimate the power you have as an educator to influence people.
I also think that you should just share the opportunities that you get coming to college. There's so many different opportunities that I've had personally that I would have never even known. And I think that could really grab a lot of students' attention and desires that they would never expect to do. Like, for example, I went and studied abroad, and I wanted to do that, but I didn't think that was an option until I got here. And so, giving those opportunities and showing them that, I think, is a huge thing too, so that they can know what is available to them.
One of the things with first-gen students that we say a lot is that you don't know what you don't know, right? That can be true for almost anyone, but it is a lot more true for our first-gen students. So one of the things I think you could do as well to help students is to almost demystify higher education. To say you are allowed to be friends with your professors. You are allowed to not understand something. That is normal. You should go and get a tutor if you're struggling with something. That doesn't mean you're not smart. It means you're learning at a higher level and you need some help. I also just started a PhD, and I had to get somebody to help me with my stats class. I am not a numbers person, so I knew that I needed help if I was going to succeed in that course. It's not about I have to get through this myself, because first-gen students are classic for, I got to do this myself. I got to figure this out myself. I got to show everybody that I can do this, right? Ask for help. Get to know people. But as a future educator, let your students know what's possible, and that higher education isn't some other world that is unattainable. It's something that is very much something they can do, and that they have to be able to figure out how to know what they don't know. But there are always going to be people that help. Who else? Anybody else got a question? Okay, what's an experience that you guys have had, panel, that changed your view as a college student? Like either something you participated in, something that happened while you were in school that like really changed you. Maybe it helped you decide what you were going to do, or it helped you persist, or it almost knocked you out completely, and how did you get through it? What's something big that took place?
I remember during my sophomore year, it was the transition from taking Gen Chem and into analytical chemistry. I don't know if anyone has had analytical chemistry.
We haven't.
But that was a class that really was humbling, to put it easily. That was a class that really put me through it. I was a lot of studying, a lot of late nights, and I remember like, is this really for me? Can I see myself really being a chemist, a pharmacist, anything like that? Like, why am I really here? And I think that I remember Zoe Scott and a couple other classmates that I had in that class, we buckled down, did a bunch of study groups, and got through it. And I feel like that community that I was able to build, and me to take that step to ask someone for help and move towards, being more open and not just trying to do it all by myself, because I feel like that was very big for me. I don't really like asking help a lot, and that's what I've learned, that it's okay to have a community and lean on someone that would help you be successful. And I stuck through it, and I'm here today.
Well, I'll answer. Yeah, I mean, a lot of our students on campus are either student athletes in the band or just involved on campus. And with that comes a heavy workload. So I think just adjusting and knowing how to adjust to that is always difficult. I think, a lot of students get shy to communicate with the professors and things, because when you're doing those things in high school, it's a lot different from when you're doing them in college. So the transitioning can be a bit difficult. I know for myself it was, where, you only practice a couple hours in the evening in college, in high school, but then in college it becomes a year-round thing. So I think the main thing then is just to talk to your advisors and talk to your professors about what's going on, because they can really help you in ways that you wouldn't know unless you go talk to them.
Questions? Comments? Do you want to know Bill's favorite color?
What was like the one moment that like from college that was like your biggest success that like made going to college worth it? Does that make sense?
What was an experience you had that made going to college worth it? Like, what was that moment? Does that sum it up well? Okay.
I think for me, the moment was seeing my children graduate from college, knowing that I had set them up to be more successful at a younger age. As you all would say, I was so excited that they could secure the bag just earlier, because I have such regret when I think about the money that I left on the table as a young adult.
I don't think I could narrow it down to just one. I mean, it was really exciting for me to go to my mom's graduation stuff, but I think I knew it was always going to be worth it. And honestly, I just had the best time. I mean, it was really hard, and I worked hard. but I just had fun, and I learned a lot, and I grew a lot, and I made a lot of relationships that I still have today. I think a really cool time, though, maybe was when I realized that people recognized that I worked hard. I was Dr. Carter at the time was our president, and he asked me to do the response to the charge for graduation. And like at the same time, I didn't put two and two together because I didn't know how it worked in college because, again, first-generation college student. I worked really hard to be like the valedictorian in high school, and I came up short. And then in college, I was a co-valedictorian, and I was like, how did I get that? I didn't know that it just happened if you made all A's, but I thought that was cool. I realized all that on the same day, so I think that was pretty neat for me. It was like a revelatory day.
I think for me, I'm not graduated yet, but I think there's already something that is kind of worth it. Since I'm in my senior year, I've been getting a couple different job opportunities laid out in front of me, and I think for me that's a success that is making college worth it because I have 4 siblings, and all of which 3 are older, and so have had the chance to go to college and didn't, and then I have 1 younger who decided not to, and they're all struggling trying to find, what their purpose in life is and whatever kind of questions that come up with that. But I have opportunities in front of me and a pathway in front of me that I would call a success. Even though I'm not there yet, I know that there are definitely multiple job opportunities in front of me that I could take and continue on in. And so for me, that's a success that makes college worth it personally.
What are some ways to get involved in First Gen at CU?
Oh, me. So through the Department of Community and Student Success, Charity serves as our director of First Gen. And before you first generation leave out of here, please let us get your name and email address, because what we want to do is wrap services around you to make sure that if you have a question about anything, your financial aid, advising, like what does this look like? Because if you were like me, you don't know what you don't know. So we're here to help you. So this is your biggest resource right here. Any and everything that you need, if you come to Miss Charity, we will make sure to get you those answers. There's scholarship opportunities for First Gen, so we go to several conferences where they provide opportunities to help students, because finances is one of the biggest barriers to students who identify as First Gen. We usually come from backgrounds where our parents didn't make a lot of money, or maybe we have a disability, whether it's a learning disability. I'm also a licensed therapist, and so it's important that you build these relationships and make those connections. We all need some kind of help, whether it's study skills. Mr. Bell helps with student success, so study skills, workshops, any and everything that can help you to be successful. If you contact Miss Charity, you come to our events, our workshops, we will make sure that we get you the things that you need.
The other thing is there's a handy-dandy QR code right here. That will give you all of my information, but also our social media handles. So you can follow Community and Student Success, you can follow First Gen, and that's where we post things when we're going to do activities, when we're going to have a workshop. Here's what I'm going to say. When you see something that is First Gen specific, go to it. Show up, because we're teaching things about financial literacy, or we're teaching things about advising, or things that maybe you would miss if you didn't come, but you don't know what you don't know. So that's my job, is to help you answer some of those questions. So please give me job security and show up for the First Gen things. And now that you're in this room and you know that First Gen, like what that is, just to define it again, neither one of your parents have a 4-year college degree, or guardian, whoever you grew up with. They don't have a 4-year college degree. You are First Gen. Even if your siblings have college degrees, that doesn't count, because you guys are the same generation. Make sense?
And there's an event today that First Gen is letting me host a workshop to talk about opportunity to study abroad and scholarship opportunity, and how I received and how you can possibly receive a scholarship to do that. So if you're interested, at 12 o'clock today, there'll be a free lunch at the Center for Faith and Ministry, the log cabin over by the Wellness Center. Come to it. I'd love to talk to you. There'll be Chick-fil-A. It's free. Come on over.
It's free food. How many of you guys still have money left on your, Wow. I'm proud. That's impressive, I'm not gonna lie.
And First Gen, make sure you go, because this is where you're going to build your community too. We really want to lift you up. We want to celebrate you. Not that we don't want to celebrate all students. Every single person in here is important. But sometimes as First Gen, there's some additional support that we need to be successful. So show up.
What did you say, Angie?
Hold on. Yeah, he's
Hold
coming.
on, Jamie's coming.
Oh my gosh.
I have class at 12, and I want to go for the workshop. What should I do?
Come talk to me, Angie. I would love to talk to you about it. Just at any time. You can talk to me after this or whenever, okay? Ask Charity for my number if you need it, okay?
This is chapel. I cannot condone skipping classes, Angie.
Take the Chick-fil-A to class.
Did you have somebody that had a question or no? I thought you were like going towards somebody. Okay.
Go ahead.
Hey, did you guys know that Dr. Jamie Lawrence is also First Gen? Woo, Jamie.
Yay.
So the other thing about first generation students is, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but none of these people have the same story, right? It's not like one kind of person that's first gen. It's not one kind of situation. It's not one kind of passion for life. First gen can be anybody, and you can do anything, right? It's not that it limits us to anything. It's actually, I like to say that realizing that you're first gen is realizing that you have a superpower, and I'm here to unlock it. That's what I want for you guys, to help figure out what it is that you're passionate about, what it is that I can help with, so that it unleashes the superpower that is within every first gen student. Because again, I know you guys work hard. These folks up here have worked hard to get where they are, to be almost finished. Blade, talk to us a little bit about some things you've gotten to do as a student here.
I've gotten to do a lot of things. I mean, for example, I remember during my first year here and being a part of First Gen, I got to take a trip to St. Louis, do a lot of cool things there, see a lot of cool things. And I got a lot of opportunities here at Campbellsville. And I remember coming in as a freshman, like, not completely undecided. I had an idea that I wanted to do, pharmacy or chemistry, biology, anything like that. But I think if I look back at today after, receiving that email for like an interview for pharmacy school and everything, I would be extremely proud to be able to say that I've done the things that I've done. And I would, like, looking back as me as a freshman, I don't think I would have even dreamed being able to do the things that I've done, from being able to go to St. Louis and then being involved with all the first gen opportunities and doing the different workshops and all that sort of thing. I think that Campbellsville has really been the right choice for college for me, and I've got to experience a lot of things that I didn't think that I would. And from doing different dissection and CVA on different animals and being involved and getting out there, and even if it's just going and making Valentine's Day cards for professors, I think the community here has really changed me as a person, and I've got to do a lot here at Campbellsville that I didn't think I would be able to do in college.
Tell us about the topic of one of your research posters or something, so that everybody can hear you say words that I don't understand.
Here at Campbellsville, I took on a sort of internship role and been a part of the research lab here at Campbellsville under Dr. Sahu. Part of my research is looking at casein-E3. It's a little protein guy that hangs around the membrane of the cardiomyocytes of human bodies, and its responsibility is an auxiliary protein. It's involved in opening the casein Q1 channel complex and allowing these potassium ions to flow through the channel, which allows the heart to contract. So what we're doing, basically, is looking at different interaction and pairing mutations that we found and monitoring how those affect the contractions, different voltage potentials. Very fun and exciting.
What I'm waiting for is that Blade is going to discover a cure for cancer, first gen from Campbellsville University. He's no joke. But the reason I have him say things like that is I want you to know that there really isn't a limit, okay? That's really, if you don't remember anything else that we talk about today, that first generation, being a first generation student is not limiting, and we're here to help, okay? Anything else that you guys want to share? Anything? Please come to lunch at noon in the Turner Log Cabin of Center for Faith and Ministry. Okay, so yes, go to lunch, learn about study abroad. Here's another statistic. I said I wasn't going to say any more of those, but I am. 96% of the people that go on study abroad trips graduate. That's insane. So, if you want to graduate, study abroad, right, Kelsey?
Oh my gosh.
That's what makes sense to me, anyway. Okay. Thank you all for listening. Again, if you have any questions and you didn't want to raise your hand because you don't like public speaking, that's okay. Come up here, say hello. I've got my paper business cards, or we can be living in 2024 and you can scan this beautiful QR code after you get chapel credit, of course. Right?
And please don't forget to give us your name and email address. We really want to build up our roster to make sure we have some constant contact with you to be able to find out what you need and how we can better support you and get you across that graduation stage.
And if you are freshmen and you haven't finished your diversity dive credits, the very last one is happening today from 4 to 6. It's the International Education Fair. It's the best day of the year, really. So go to that. That is, you came here, and if you go there, you get 2 chapels today. That's maximizing your day. So let's pray, and we will be finished. Jesus, we thank you so much for the opportunity to be in a place such as Campbellsville University where we get to honor you, glorify you, and learn what it is to grow and to figure out our passions and to learn. God, we pray that for those of us in here that are first generation, that we would lean in to the power that comes with that and be willing to ask for help when it's needed, to find the supports that are around, and God, be part of the community that is so important here. Father, would you go before us? Would you allow us to enjoy this beautiful day? We thank you for loving us. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Let's give another hand. Real quick, couple of announcements. Just so you know, the OCC collection is going to be November 18th through the 25th. There are boxes out front. Please grab one of those if you haven't yet. Fill that thing up. Bring it back in here to the chapel. We're going to stack those boxes up here and send those out. You're going to bless a kid on the other side of the world. It's going to be awesome. So be sure to catch one of those on the way out. Also, CentriKid is going to be in the caf out there in the front. If you're looking for something really fun to do, really cool to do, hang out, work with CentriKid for the summer. You get paid to hang out and bless kids and see great things happen. We have a team that went and led worship this last summer for our CentriKid. Had a great time. We saw lots of lives changed throughout that. And listen, you want to have real impact one-on-one with some kids, go talk to them today in the cafe and get signed up for that. It'd be awesome. Other than that, some of you guys look sleepy. Look, you may have stayed up and watched a basketball game last night or something. Y'all do that?
Yes.
Nobody's cheering. Don't start that, Charity. Yeah, okay. There's enough of that. I did wear blue and white today, but that's okay. Yeah. And this QR code here is the same as that QR code if you want that. And I'll give you like 5 seconds if you want to do that one, because then we're going to switch to another QR code that you're going to need. Ta-da! For chapel credit. Oh, it's like paparazzi. They're putting the cameras up here. Okay. Now, you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Don't forget the things that are going on with First Gen. Sign up, get involved. That's how you have a lot of fun, a lot of success on campus, is to get involved with these things that are involved for you. Go have a great day. It's nice outside. Enjoy the sunshine. God bless.